Hi everybody, welcome to Something to Think About, where I hope to share some ideas that will give you something to think about. In this episode, we're going to talk about embracing change. I'm your host Fred, let's get to it. Let me start by sharing a story. About 20 years ago, I had the wonderful opportunity to work in Shenzhen, China, in a joint venture called IIPC. My office was on the 11th floor of a 14-story building. Now this bit of information is important because at 11:30 a.m. every day, everyone in the building went to lunch. As a result, when I went to the elevator and pressed the down button, I was frequently met with this sight when the doors opened for the elevator going down, sometimes multiple times before I could squeeze on. Then one day, a woman on my team came to the elevator and pressed the up button as I stood there waiting for the elevator to come down. I thought it was strange that she was going up, as the people on my floor should not have any business with the people on the floors above us. I thought maybe she was going to see a friend. When the doors opened for the elevator going up, she got on and away she went. 2 minutes later, the same elevator doors opened with the elevator going down. As was usually the case, it was full, but I could see her waving from the back of the elevator. She taught me a valuable lesson. Sometimes you have to go up to go down. From that day forward, I always pressed both buttons and got on whatever elevator came first that had room for me. 10 years later, I'm back in the same building for a meeting. Now, over the course of those years, the company had changed names as a result of a divestiture, reduced in size, and now occupied the second through fourth floors. I was on the second floor with some colleagues in a conference room when 11:30 a.m. hit. It was still time for lunch. As we were walking to the elevators, I was sharing this story. As we got to the elevators, one of my colleagues said, "Fred, what's behind the door over there?" I said, "Well, those are the stairs." He said, "Why don't we just go down one flight of stairs instead of taking an elevator?" Of course, that made much more sense. We were only on the second floor. In both parts of this story, it took another person to help me see the opportunity to more efficiently execute the simple task of getting to the ground floor of a building. Too often we get stuck in our habits and ways of thinking because they're familiar, reliable, and comfortable. However, our environment changes, technology changes, and the people around us change. Given we have so much changing around us, we have to keep up by changing too. I encourage you to pause periodically in life and challenge the status quo by asking yourself if what you're doing today still makes sense. The activity could be as simple as a work task you do, the route you take to the office, or if you're like me, just how you get to lunch. Just because it was right a year ago or a month ago or a week ago doesn't necessarily mean it still is today. Think about what has changed, how you can embrace that change and adapt to it. I suggest you enlist the help of others to give you additional perspective as well. We all know that change is a natural fact of life. Knowing how to effectively deal with it and leverage it to help us become even better is a key component of success. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. I hope it gave you something to think about. Take care.